Hi dear students, dear friends, welcome to Gallant IAS. Some of my students, when I ask them why your score is low in the mock test, they say, sir, I prepared very well, but I forget everything. I forget everything. Some students are like this, they used to give excuses. Excuses like, sir, may I write exam 2 days later or day after tomorrow? Or shall I write this exam after my quick revision? My dear aspirants, let me tell you one thing. Don't ever addicted to excuses. If you have the habit of making excuses every time, that will be too dangerous, let me tell you. Because UPC will never give you such excuses. UPC will never say, beta beti, okay, if 27 you are not okay to write exam, you write it on some other day. You say, my mama is not well, my mommy is not well. UPC, shall I write exam after 10 days? UPC is not going to give you any excuses. So be disciplined, be organized, and practice a good number of questions. That's very important here. The easiest way of revising the concepts, easiest way of revising concepts, definitely, that is solving maximum number of potential questions. And that is the solution for minimizing your conceptual errors and silly errors which you usually make in the final examination. Okay, so try to revise maximum number of topics through these questions, solving maximum number of potential questions. So welcome to the series. This is Let's Score 120 plus in the prelims examination. Myself, Justin, and this is history. Yeah, one of the subject which is having good weightage in your prelims and mains examination. Now we are solving one question. Consider the following statements. Consider the following statements. With reference to this particular thing, consider the following statements. Which of the following is correct or not correct regarding this particular thing? Usual way of UPSC asking questions. Okay. Now consider the following statements. This is a two statement type questions. You may have two statement type questions, three statement type questions, four statement type questions. If you are lucky enough, sometimes you will get five statement type questions also. The more the statements, the more the chances of applying elimination tactics. Okay, what I am saying is, if more statement type questions means the chances of applying accurate elimination, that will work out here. Okay, but two statement means it is too difficult. You see, Mahavira was born at Kundagrama and passed away at Vallabi. So the cultural personalities, historical personalities, and the places related to their life, that's important for you. Mahavira was born at Kundagrama. Of course, he was the founder of, or he was not founder, he was the most important reformer of Jainism, 24th Tirthankara of Jainism. He was born in Kundagrama, that is in Vaishali, which is in Bihar. Okay, and passed away to Vallabi. Vallabi is a popular Jain center, let me tell you, Jain educational center. Many of the Jain literatures being compiled at Vallabi. Okay, so Vallabi is a popular Jain site, but it is not the place where Vardhamana Mahavira attained Nirvana or he passed away. He passed away in another place in Bihar, that is Pavapuri. So the places related to life of this Vardhamana Mahavira and Gautam Buddha, it's important for you. So you understood that first statement is wrong. Buddha at Lumbini in Bihar. Buddha was born at, I just cut short the statement. Okay, symbol. Buddha was born at Lumbini in Bihar and passed away at Kushinagar. Usually the problem with many aspirants, on striking some words, they will come to a hasty conclusion that the whole statement will be correct. But a single word can be the deceit. The single word in a statement can cheat you. You see, Buddha was born at Lumbini. By reading that much, you will make a conclusion that exactly, Eureka, this statement is correct. But the problem is, Lumbini is in Bihar. Lumbini is not in Bihar, Lumbini is in Nepal. Lumbini is in Nepal. Sometimes purposefully UPC will be making statements incorrect by changing these some keywords. Okay, take care of it. Buddha was born at Lumbini in Nepal. It is not in Bihar, and passed away to Kushinagar, UP. That second part is okay. So this statement as a whole is again wrong. Your answer has to be neither one nor two. Moving on to the next question. Yeah, it is regarding this freedom struggle. See, this is regarding the freedom struggle with reference to the freedom struggle of India. So when it comes to freedom struggle, you know that Modern India Freedom Struggle Party is one of the very, very potential area in your prelims examination. And from Modern India, from freedom struggle, maximum number of questions being asked. Okay, freedom struggle, the journals, yeah, popular newspapers, journals related to freedom struggle era, it's important for you. Their founders, popular editors, their themes, okay, their role in this freedom struggle movement, etc. is important for you. Now here, the Independent is a newspaper which was founded by Lala Lajpat Rai. Is that true? The Independent, that is related to a person who had been instrumental for drafting, for formulating that the first India's or Indians draft constitution by Indians. That was Nehru Report. So one of the main person related to that compiling or formulating that draft constitution of India by Indians for the first time, Nehru Report, that was Motilal Nehru. So Motilal Nehru was the person who was the founder of this Independent newspaper in 1919. Muga Nayak, you know that it is related to Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. So it's very important. B.R. Ambedkar, it's again a very popular personality for UPSC, important personality for UPSC. Several times asked about his major contributions, his major journals, or his major point of views, opinions, and comparison with other leaders. Okay. So here Muga Nayak is related to Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. Now Hindustan Dainik by Madan Mohan Malviya, it's true. Sudharak newspaper by Gopal Ganesh Agarkar, Anglo Marathi newspaper, that is also true. Sudharak by Gopal Ganesh Agarkar, that is true. So third statement and fourth statements are correct here. Okay, no doubt. The popular journals, newspapers, editors, and these main opinions or objectives of such newspapers. Take care. 3 and 4 makes your answer. Now the third question we are solving, a culture question. Consider the following statements. It is related to, or it is from, medieval India. Moinuddin Chishti, his Dargah, okay. His Dargah was located or is located in Ajmer, Rajasthan. Is that true? Moinuddin Chishti, you know, Silsila hai Silsila. That Silsila means, this Silsila means, different sect of Sufism. Sufi Bhakti movements, very, 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 very important for you. And this, Sufi sect in India were called Silsilas, and Chishti Silsila in India was founded by Moinuddin Chishti. Is a man who is beyond the religion, caste and all because of humanitarian services, and his Dargah in Ajmer visited by people irrespective of caste, creed, religion, any such divisions. Okay, for everyone, he is acceptable because of his humanitarian services. He truly believed service to God is service to man. Okay, devotion to God is service to man. Moinuddin Chishti's Dargah, that was located, it was the main preaching center of Moinuddin Chishti also, the founder of Chishti Silsila in India. So it is in Ajmer, Rajasthan. Nimbarka, yes, he is a popular Bhakti saint of medieval India, and his philosophy is monism. That is wrong. You know that? Monism is connected with Adi Shankaracharya. Okay, Advaita philosophy, monism philosophy related to Adi Shankaracharya, and Nimbarka's philosophy was dualistic monism. Dvaita. Okay, so the popular philosophers and their philosophies are important of medieval India. Ganeshwari by Gandev was basically a commentary on Bhagavad Gita. So have an idea about the popular Maharashtrian philosophers, Bhakti saints, their literary contributions and their contemporaries, etc. You have to go through. So here Ganeshwari by Gandev, it was a commentary on this Bhagavad Gita. Absolutely, it was a Maharashtrian Bhakti saint, and that statement is correct. So here the 1 and 3 makes the sense. Bombay is your answer. So please take care, all of you guys. Practice maximum number of questions. Practice maximum number of UPC standard questions with the UPC trend, UPC pattern. Also, all of you must practice previous year's questions. That is the easiest and best solution to crack prelims with good score. Okay, so target a score that is 120 plus, and to work for it, be confident, be determined, and don't ever focus on the negative vibes and negative thoughts. Be positive, stay positive, and just keep on revising. Revision must be your current strategy and mantra. Okay, that is by solving a good number of UPSC standard questions and previous year's questions. All the best. If you find this series helpful, please share, please comment, like, or whatever. Just to share with your friends, let it be helpful for others also. And your valuable feedback you can just mention in the comment box. All the best. Thank you.